The one thing that I'll always remember her about and what I always looked up to her for is that she always showed everybody love. And even if that person was not a favorite person or that person frustrated her, she always treated them with such high respect and showed this great love to them that I wish I had that personality trait in me. And it was so obvious that her radiance with Christ was like exemplifying towards everyone, and that her faith was so strong that I always looked up to and remembered her about.
So my favorite memory of Lindsey is our week that we try to be fit. We decided to run the Lungsford. When I say run, I mean mostly walk. And by the time we were done each night, she'd walk me to Sykes, but we'd be talking, of course, while we were walking. So I was like, I'll just walk you to the corner, campus. And she was like, okay, cool. So I'd walk her to the corner, and of course we'd still be talking. So then I was like, I'll just walk you to your dorm. So we'd walk to Smith Adams, and she's like, Betsy, you can't just, walk back alone. I'll just drive you back. And so for like a whole week, we just did this whole back and forth thing. And I don't know, I love those nights because we just learned so much about each other.
In our house, we have always had this thing where if we compliment you and you were just like having a bad day, an insecure day, one of us would be like, no, you're beautiful, and we're gonna make you feel beautiful by sitting on top of you until you accept that you're beautiful. And because we're girls, we all have those days like, oh, my hair, like this clothes, like I feel fat. And so we did that. And then Lindsey came to live with us after Disney. And we introduced her to that whole concept of lovingly sitting on each other. And so, I guess the first time was Lindsey came in, we were gonna go dancing, and she was wearing this outfit that looked really pretty. And she's like, I just don't feel like, all this stuff. I'm like, Lindsey, I'm gonna sit on you. Like, girl. And she's like, what? I'm like, that's what we do in this house. And so you're gonna have to accept it. She's like, no, but like all of this. And so
I just really understood. We really will do it. I'm not afraid.
So went after her, pinned her down to the couch, laid on top of her, and I was like, I'm not leaving until you accept that you're beautiful. And she was like, okay. And finally, we would do that a lot. And she finally caught on and would kind of do it back to us, Timidly. Like, is this okay what I'm doing? You feel beautiful? It's like, thank you, Lindsey. Lindsey was a beautiful person in so many ways, and we learned even much more beauty through Lindsey.
Lindsey was one of those people who made you feel like she was your best friend from the minute you met her. And there was never an awkward moment with her. One of the things that I just noticed in her was her genuineness. Whenever she asked you how you're doing, she didn't want the typical answer, good or okay. She wanted to know really how you're doing, whether that's bad, great, or just anything. And she used to call me late nights and just to go get gas, go get food, and I would always drop what I was doing because I knew that meant we got to talk. And I always look forward to those moments because it just felt special with her, because I could feel that she really cared what I was saying. And it's something that I don't think you see in a lot of people nowadays. It's something we miss, and I think a lot of people saw that in Lindsey, and I know that's why she's touched so many lives. It's just because she was so genuine.
Well, Lindsey and me were always about the new diets to do, and so whether it was like Atkins or Weight Watchers or something, and one time we were really tired of being fat, so we decided to do those little droplets that Linda bought us. And the first day consisted of gorging yourself with food, which is great, except we only made it to the first day. And so that diet made us gain weight instead of lose weight. And I think that was just I don't know, that was just always kind of reflected our friendship.
She used to always sneak into my bunk late at night, and we would just tell stories, or we'd play pranks on people, or just stay up all night laughing. And I think Camp Bandina's always held a special place in my heart, and now it's a place for me and Lindsey. And anytime I dance or anytime I'm at camp, I'm gonna think about it.
So when I think of Lindsey, the first word that comes to mind is casual, because our friendship was just that. It was so easy and natural and effortless, and we would go months without seeing each other. When she would go to college or Disney or TBRM, would do something crazy, and next time we saw each other, it's like we were never apart. And some of my favorite memories come from those nights that we would go to Sonic and literally talk for hours and hours, or watch SVU, or drive through the park. She used to love to do this thing where if she saw a car parked in the park, she automatically assumed that they were making out or something, and so she would flash her lights at them. She called it park peeping, and it was really fun. But one of my favorite memories with Lindsey was when I went skiing with her family, and I found out later that she only invited me to go skiing because she thought I had been before, but she was too nice to say anything when I told her that it was my first time. And so when I got there, they registered me under the name Allie Smith, just in case I needed medical attention, then Miss Smith could sign off on it. And so off I went to the bunny slopes. I went by myself, and just to learn the ropes and take a few classes. And sure enough, I got altitude sickness, and so I spent the day in the infirmary, and they put my name on the boards around the ski lift that Allie Smith needed help, but none of her family recognized the name, and so I spent easily three plus hours in there just hanging out, and Miss Smith comes busting through the door, and she's like, "Your mom's gonna hurt me, I'm so sorry." And I was in there drinking hot chocolate, eating crackers, there's a hot nurse. I was like, "Girl, I'm fine." But we all had a good laugh about that. And on that same trip, maybe it was like the second or third day, I had my wits about me again, and Lindsey convinced me to go on a blue slope, which was a little step up from the greens I'd been doing. And so she was like, "There's a few moguls, but you'll be fine." I was like, "I don't even know what a mogul is," but I trusted her. So we went, and I was going down the slope, and I was like pizzaing the whole time, like trying to slow down, but I couldn't. And I was flying down the slope, and this guy at the bottom was like, "Ma'am, you need to slow down." I was like, "You think?" I'm trying. But she was laughing at me, and so she had to do greens with me the rest of the trip. She was a really patient friend. Another one of my favorite memories with Lindsey was we were probably in like 7th grade or something, and DDR was a hit. Like, it was the game to play, and so I invited her over to my house, and she brought her mat, and so we were like dueling and whatever, and we heard that this kid on Oprah burned like 1,000,000 calories playing DDR, and we looked at each other, we were like, "Let's do it." And so we decided to stay up and play this DDR game until I don't know when. Like, we played our hearts out, and we would take turns, be like, "You go on without me," and trade off, and we were hydrating and doing whatever. To stay awake, we had a soda, and we were like in it to win it and whatever. And so at the end, there was this thing you could look at to see how many calories you burn, and we realized that we had only burned enough calories to burn off the soda that we had just drank. And so we just fell to the floor laughing, and we felt so defeated because we worked so hard, and we literally only burned like 250 calories.
My favorite thing about Lindsey was just her passion and her joy and everything she did. We went and saw her at Disney. She was so excited to see us, and that was probably like one of the moments where I knew, we're becoming good friends. Just seeing the excitement on her face every time I saw her, no matter if I was having a bad day or she was having a bad day, didn't matter. She was always excited to see you.